Hello gamers and welcome back. I'm Rob, of course, or Warshack if you want to call me by my in-game name, and it's the newest season, which means we're going to hit legend as soon as possible, like I've mentioned in our previous episodes and the past couple streams. Like I said, we want to hit that legend before the new expansion comes out, and so we can kind of meme around with new decks and we can deck test them, and we're already at legend rank, and once you're legend you can't really lose it, so we're kind of we're sitting pretty, right? So with that said, we're going to be playing some decks that get us to legend the quickest. It's not my proudest moment playing aggressive based decks for like 4 days straight so we can hit legend as soon as possible. But at the same time, we got to do what we got to do to get the results in. Also, I'm just going to mention in this first video here, I won't be speaking and talking about all the normal stuff and telling stories and just being all around normal Rob these first couple videos because we want to hit legend, which means I'm going to be focusing more on the plays and, you know, hand reading and all that shit versus talking to you guys and telling stories. So I just want to mention it first because hopefully you're watching this video as it being the first video of the month that I'm posting. And then once we hit legend, we'll go back to the normal Rob. We'll play fun decks. We'll joke around and I'll answer comments in the chat and all that good stuff. But as of now, all of these road to legend videos are going to be you know, mostly me just focusing in. So we get hero power because it's actually pretty strong because we have this in our hand. We could push one more damage and like get a lesser chance of drawing patches, but I'll take the risk. Pretty confident we have 25 cards that we won't draw patches for one more turn because it's so much stronger to go flame tongue in a deckhand. Well, deckhand and then of course flame tongue in between the two. Patches comes out, does 3 right away. Okay, so this guy is obviously going for an astronomically big Van Cleef, which means we lose unless we don't draw Hex. Hit him with that well played. There's like one in every, like, you know, 20 games that this happens. And then you just lose if we don't draw Hex. And now this guy's gonna concede. Okay, that's what Hearthstone is, guys. If you're wondering if this is your first Hearthstone video ever watching and you want to know what Hearthstone is all about, that was it right there. That was the yeah. If you're ever wondering of what to play, I don't want to get too hyped about that, but that was like one of the like really fucking crazy moments. But the problem is when I get hyped and I start going off on my tangents and all that, it uses a lot of energy, and I need to conserve this energy because we have to play Hearthstone for 8 to 12 hours for 4 days in a row, and we have to play the same mind-numbing deck over and over and over again because this is the deck that grants the best results. It's this or Pirate Warrior, and I'm not playing Pirate Warrior. I mean, this deck is bad, but I guess Pirate Warrior is much worse. At least, hopefully, I'm doing different. Most people cut Thing from Below's. Hammer of Twilight, you could say I'm different, but this is actually a card that's been popping up a lot lately. And, I know I said I'd never play Patches again, but, you know, Patches decks have the highest win rates. It's plus with Flame Tongue Totem, it's just crazy. So we could go Totem Golem, Hero Power, into turn 4. Or we could wait a turn, Hero Power, Feral Spirits. Totem Golem's probably the strongest play. If we wait and we Hero Power the Spirit Claw, or the Spirits, then we can't Jade Lightning. Because we're going to be overloaded, then when we play this, we can't play this. The curve just works out better like this. He's going to coin 1-drop, so it looks like South Sea. Tunnel Trog. So he's waiting to see what totem he rolled. If he rolls Taunt, then he has the protection he needs. Unless we rip Lightning Bolt, and then we just deal with this. Right? Or we could just not deal with this. But then he goes like, what? Feral Spirits. This becomes a 3-3. And I don't like that. But if we play Lightning Bolt, we're at 4. Then we just play our Feral Spirits. So. Works out fine. The Shaman matchup's all about board control. There's the Feral Spirits. That's why we Lightning Bolted it. The only reason you'd coin into that is because he was wanting to lead into something like this. So one of these attacks goes off. We Feral Spirits. He makes 1 trade. Are we Lightning Bolt and Hero Power? Makes this stronger. Hold the Feral Spirits. If we Feral Spirits now, we only Lightning Bolt, then we can Jade Lightning and Thing from Below next turn. So I'm gonna choose to do this. I'd rather summon a 5/5 or deal 4 damage to his Totem Golem if he plays it, rather than summoning 2 2/4s that, granted, they can kill totems, but I don't like it that much. South Sea Deccan. I think we always go Thing from Below here. Means this can't get Jade Lightning. That's pretty kind of him. We knows he's playing the slower version of Shaman, but I didn't like leaving that card alive because he can attack into our Thing from Below and then Lightning Storm. So we did waste 6 damage on it, but at the same time we protected our Thing from Below from not only a Lightning Storm, but other things like that. Double Wind Speaker. Okay, our Water Speaker. So that's all the heal he has in his deck. At least the first one didn't get the heal done. I really don't like Jade Lightning this. I'd rather Jade Lightning and Azure Drake. So we can kind of just go like Twilight Drake. Lava Burst is good. This is still gonna trade in. Trying to play around Lightning Storm the best I can. We have a lot of face damage, so now we can just start, spells in our hand to go face, so should work out well. Oh, Blood Mage Lightning Storm, couldn't play around it, even if we tried. So ideally it low rolls on both our Drake and Thing from Below. High rolled on Drake, low rolled on that guy. Alright, so let's take a look at damage. We don't kill this Blood Mage, it doesn't make any sense, so we just reload on board. Make the assumption he doesn't have another Lightning Storm. He's looking for spell power. If he does, he gets healing. Maelstrom Portal. It's rough, but not the end of the world. If we attacked into his Blood Mage and he didn't take 5 there last turn. Oh wow, he had double Maelstrom Portal. Well, Whippersnappers. All right, we need something to take care of this 2/1. There we go. So we know we're hero powering 100% of the time. We know we're playing this Thing from Below 100% of the time. We know we're Jade Clawsing 100% of the time. The Jade Claws goes here, and this smacks face. Next turn we have lethal. So he would need... Doesn't stop us. I like his ordering. He gets the spell power totem, so now he can kill that and kill our 1/1. So we have 9. This is much more. Or he's at 12, and this is 11. This is 5. So I guess this just goes into here, right? Face Shaman. Yay. So we just need 1 more and then we're on a win streak back to almost 8. We were 8 this morning, but I started losing a lot. I think we lost like 7 games in a row. It was pretty unfortunate. Then we went to go have lunch. I was triggered while eating lunch. We came back, decided it was best. I mean, I don't like recording these kinds of videos, guys, to be honest, because I don't like being, you know, Moopy Rob. Well, not Moopy, just like tryhard Rob. But if you guys, I figured for those of you who are only interested in the gameplay and not so much me being, you know, a goose all the time, and this is your time to shine. These videos are specifically for you. All right, Pirate Warrior. It's the only thing on ladder right now. Keep double golem, put back thing. Boop boop. Well, that's bad. Guess I'm a bad player. His hand must be either all full of upgraded cards, or his turn was that bad that he had to do this in particular. What a weird trade. Is that greedy of me that I want to trade into the 1/1 and hoping he doesn't have an upgrade? So let's say he frothings. So if we trade here, I don't like that. Let's see if I get punished. I just want to see what happens. Yeah, he upgrades and checks there. Okay. So he should have killed the 3/3. 100%. I'm getting outskilled. If we patches this, it's just a loss. We can still draw Maelstrom. Normally this deck performs fairly well against aggressive base shaman. It's just our start was pretty bad. We drew into patches. We didn't draw any other low drops. We didn't draw Jade Claws. We drew Totem Golem, but we made a bad trade with it, assuming that he didn't have the upgrade. But it was a risk I was worth keeping. I think we had a pretty bad start to begin with versus what he had. So I think it was a risk worth keeping. I think it was a risk if we could have traded there and he was forced, we could have traded the next turn too. That was like a winning line, right? But like, let's say we didn't even draw a Maelstrom, right? So there's no point to even assume that we could have killed that 1/1 patches, which would have continued again to attack our face and be an activator for other pirates. So it was a risk with very like 20% reward, but it had like a 60% loss. Like, let's say if it ended up, it was 3 times worse than where we started to gain 20%. But when you're already behind on board versus the pirates and you draw patches, you have to take those plays. You have to take those plays. So against a shaman, we keep Maelstrom if we assume he has South Sea. We get rid of Maelstrom if he doesn't have South Sea. So I'm going to keep Maelstrom because we have Faceless. Because we're not playing any early game stuff. So like, let's say he has South Sea and patches down and we play 4-drop 7/7 into him. He puts a Flame Tongue and this dies and I lose. If I South Sea, it stops me from drawing patches and I can hero power next turn. It's exceedingly weak to Maelstrom. So he Maelstroms here. I'm favored to lose. If he doesn't Maelstrom, I'm favored to win. Okay. Jade Claws is fine. Totem Golem ruins the entirety of our coin flame wreath, so we're not doing that. You guys will have to let me know what you think of these particular videos. The ones where I'm not as uppity, but we're playing a lot more serious. We are truly grinding right now. Like this is the grinding Hearthstone feeling. This is a professional Hearthstone. Or no, I'm not a professional, but this is, you know, what basically they do. There's a lot of lines of play here. It all depends what he has. I'm choosing the line of play that's I like the most. This worked out well. If we Maelstrom this dies, summon something, we're at 3. We would then Spirit Claws, Lightning Bolt. We can Spirit Claws, Lightning Bolt. We have to deal with this. So, first things first. Trying to think if there was better placement. I couldn't choose where these go. They're always going to go on the right side. Jade Lightning onto a Flame Tongue is what I was looking for. I didn't want him to Jade Lightning either of these. That 1/1 is annoying. Can trade here to play around Maelstrom. We don't have a healing totem, or I would have not done that. I would have traded to keep the 1/1 if we had healing totem. This is where if he has Lightning Storm, he wins. If we don't deal with Aya, we lose the board, we lose the game. He's too low to consider to continue to go face and ignore the Aya. He's playing Aya, which he's running the slower version, which means he probably runs 2 Lightning Storms. Good news, he hasn't drawn it yet. Flame Tongue Totem was a very big draw here. His ways out are Hero Power, Lightning Storm, Hero Power, Jade Lightning, Lava Burst, another Hex, Water Speakered himself. Keeping the Water Speaker alive is scary. If we trade, trade again. Right now, this Flame Tongue is the only thing keeping us in the game. The reason I valued trading there is because if he kills this, there'll be nothing on the left side of the Flame Tongue totem, and we want to get value out of both sides. Drawing Azure Drake is exceedingly important. Hex is another important one. It doesn't matter which one we hex. We should have Maelstrom portaled first. It didn't matter, but it could have. I value the 3-1 more than taking face damage right now. Or I value this guy more than taking the face damage and using the weapon charge. We could have traded him in. It's unfortunate that he top decked his 2 strongest cards in the deck. Well, he's actually played all 3 of the strongest cards in his deck. He's played Aya and both his Jade Chieftains. So, and we've top decked pretty poorly the past couple turns. So, it's time to trade unfavorably. I'm gonna trade to play around Flame Tongue Totem the best I can. It's very important that he can't get past these taunts and this thing live. It's pretty casual that he would roll Spell Power, get Maelstrom right off the top, and pretty much ruin the entirety of my win condition. Looks like we've done exactly the same back to him though. His was much worse because he had no way to get past the taunt totems with no spell power. Like if he didn't roll the spell power for the 25% chance we win. Right now our win condition is top decking a weapon and getting a spell afterwards. Because now our stuff just dies to Flame Tongue. We're always going to be behind. And his deck is much later than mine. His power level of his cards is much higher. 4-drop 7/7 would have helped, but it still would have died due to this Flame Tongue. So it basically came down to that 25% chance he rolled that spell power into the Maelstrom portal. He rolls any other totem, we're perfectly okay. 4-drop 7/7 is good, but it, like I said, it dies because of this Flame Tongue totem. He trades, he trades, he trades. It does reduce the size of his board and extend the time of this game, but like I said, it doesn't matter. His deck is, the power level of his cards is much more than I. Okay, moving on. See, those are the games that trigger me. 25% chance to not lose the game. Gets it every time. We did roll that Hex totem though, or we did draw Hex, and it's only a 1-of in our deck, so that was pretty lucky too. So those two weighed themselves against each other. I favor ourselves highly against Rogue. I'm gonna keep Feral Spirits. I don't want to mulligan away too many things because the more stuff we mulligan, the higher chance that we draw patches, and I really don't want to draw patches. So we could coin Totem Golem, because if not, then he could just hero power and kill Deckhand. Meanwhile, if we coin Totem Golem, him hero powering on other than turn 2 is quite inefficient, unless he has other combo cards. So So this is the only time where I don't play Deckhand directly on one. Because it's like he hero powers now and does nothing, then he still takes more damage. It's just the likelihood of drawing or not drawing patches. Hannah's shaping up to be okay. Feral Spirits is going to help out a lot, in my opinion. As long as he just doesn't do any big Van Cleef shenanigans. That's how we lose this matchup. As he summons like anything like an 8/8 plus questing adventure on turn 3 means he's got counterfeit coins, conceals, and preps. It's so crazy because if Rogue doesn't draw like these exact things, it literally does nothing. Like they have to draw a buffer, they have to be able to get some huge combos off, they have to draw counterfeit coins, they have to draw conceal. Like it just seems not consistent, but yet when you play against it, it definitely seems very consistent. And then like Tomb Pillager on 4, even with all of that. Just crazy. I would really appreciate it if you attack that 2/3 taunt to show me that you're actually not a good player, so then we lose, we can be even saltier. Yes, attack it, please. You're thinking to yourself, why not attack it? The question is, attacking it actually makes a pretty big deal. Because right now, if you attack it, you get rid of that 1/1, and then we just swing our 2/3 into your 7/5, and we play Jade Claws, and we attack, or we Lightning Bolt it. And we've dealt with your 1/1. He decided against it. So how do we win this game? Obviously, we can Jade Claws, trade. I don't really like that. Keeping this alive, though, is scary. Obviously, we can Lightning Bolt, trade, go face. I don't like that. I almost just like completely ignoring it. Let's see if the face play is worth it. This is face Shaman. This rogue has no healing in his deck, and we're still at 30 life. And our hand consists of 3 burn spells, which in total add almost to his entire life points. So we just have to make contact with 1 more item, draw another burn spell, or him not kill our entire board here. And we can win over the course of, what, 2 turns? That's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. We just need to draw another Lava Burst and we win. Or a Lightning Bolt, right? This is 8, 9, 10, 11. Come on, bro. Taking way too long. We need to queue up and do another game here. We either win by turn 6 or we lose by turn 6. It also doesn't help when you rip RNG like yours. Could have Jade Lightninged the 8/4, but that's a losing play. Yeah, alright, so you have Cold Blood in your hand. I appreciate you letting me know. Not that it matters, but... Took you that long to think about that, man? For fuck's sake. So you just win next turn. And we're gonna draw the Lava Burst, or the other card. Okay. Alright, so we'll play one more and then we'll end the episode here. Then I'm gonna play not recording for a while. No. I do not abbed. Oh no. I'm gonna keep Hex for 4-drop 7/7. Double Tunnel Trog. Normally I only keep one, but because we I don't want to draw them later, I'm gonna go Tunnel Trog, Tunnel Trog, Tunnel Trog, Coin, Tunnel Trog, and then we have Lightning Bolt. Then if he plays oh. Okay. So we want to see a Maelstrom Portal. Do we coin Deckhand? Kills this, then our 2/1. It gets it out of our deck. I understand this trade is available to him, but now he can't Jade Claws and Killer. Tunnel Trog. But it works out pretty nice if you have a Totem Golem to follow it up. So, now is the option. We have to look for that sweet Taunt Totem. We did not get it. So now he makes this trade, and then we have to Tunnel Trog and Lightning Bolt that next turn. As long as he doesn't get a Healing Totem. Okay. Does Jade Claws change anything? Could Tunnel Trog, Jade Claws, make these trades. Now we keep Lightning Bolt for a better day. So right now we want him to play the 4-drop, and he might because he actually Wrath of Air last turn. He top decked it, so we would be extremely salty if this wasn't a Hex. But it is a Hex, so we're not salty. This trade's here, this trade's here. So, because he plays 4-drop 7/7, we can kind of hope that he also does not play Lightning Storm, which means we're gonna Wolves and Hero Power next turn. With playing one Hex, they don't know which rendition of Shaman we're playing, which gives us a small edge. Because like, oh, he's running Hex, maybe he's running, you know, the Chieftains and Lightning Storms as well. So, as we know, he probably does not run at least one Hex, and he runs the Faceless, that we can assume that he does not have Lightning Storms. Meanwhile, he might actually play around Lightning Storm. They also don't know if we play Bloodlust or not. Because everybody's playing Bloodlust, I've decided playing Bloodlust doesn't make as much sense. That's a pretty big deal. He paid 5 mana to kill our... Do we Deckhand to deal more damage and it's weak to Spirit Claws? I mean, it's weak to Maelstrom. Or we just Hero Power and it pumps up our thing from belows? I'd rather make trades with the Deckhand. If we didn't already pull Patches, I would have played Deckhand. But because we already played Patches, the Deckhand is better saved for making trades and with Flame Tongue. Right now he has Jade Lightning in his hand, but he really doesn't want to kill half of a 3 mana spell. Because he's used 4 mana to deal with basically 1.5 mana. And that's just not efficient, because he already had to make the other inefficient play of Lava Bursting a Tunnel Trog to save himself from taking reoccurring damage, and the fear of Feral Spirits to buff it by 2, which would have been a true. So, the Lightning, as bad as the Lava Burst felt, it was actually not the worst play he could have made. This guy likes the rope. You might just hero power. Tunnel Trog. It took you that long to think Feral Spirit's Tunnel Trog was the play there? For fuck's sake, man. Okay. Well, thing from below looks exceedingly nice, but then we don't get to lightning bolt that Tunnel Trog. And that's a big deal. So, we hero power. Reduce it down even more. We lightning bolt this. We kill off what we know is weak to Maelstrom Portal. We got Healing Totem, which is good. So we can trade and trade. And this is only weak to Spell Power, Maelstrom Portal, or Lightning Storm. But he doesn't run Lightning Storm. Or if he had it, he has to top deck it, or he would have used it last turn. So this is the best play in regards to saving resources. And assuming that he doesn't high roll that 25% chance. So the other play would just swing weapon in, trade one wolf, keep one wolf healthy. So if he does, one wolf remains, but then we lose the hero power. Versus keeping the hero power. And if he plays another 4-drop 7/7, then we could just Lava Burst weapon trade instead of killing the creature that would have died anyway. Oh, man. Well, if it took him to the rope to decide Tunnel Trog, Feral Spirits, what's the play? I don't know if he was considering the ordering of the cards, because sometimes that could be confusing with the Tunnel Trog. You know, you always have to play it before your overloads, which, you know, can be quite tricky at sometimes. But if that's what took the rope, I can't even imagine what, once we hit turns like 5, like, you know, Azure Drake on 5. Couldn't even imagine the thought process that went behind that. We would have had to kill off one of our wolves if we didn't have that weapon charge right there. This guy is purposely roping every turn. Because he knows we're trying to grind. And that's why we're playing this deck. And he's frustrated because he's not in the winning seat. So he figures if he extends the time at which he plays to a slower portion, that will somehow affect the way I reflect my views on Hearthstone and needing to hit Legend prior to the expansion hitting. And will somehow also fix his RNG. He decided that it was best for him to concede. I appreciate your valiant effort. Alright, so now we'll wrap up this episode. And I'll catch you in the next one. I'm going to just post this one first and see how it does, because if you guys don't like it and you just want to see the uppity Robbie playing fun interactive decks and with all my thought process behind everything, I'll just save those. I just won't record, and I'll just save my time for when we do hit Legend. But you know, if it doesn't do bad, then I'll post videos like this where we're just, you know, merely grinding and not extending huge resources into making everything normally as hype as it normally is. So as always, guys, catch you in the next episode. I'm Rob, of course, or Warshack, and happy whatever the hell day it is.